Good evening everybody. Tonight I'm going to do a small video on making an Easter plate. We're in lockdown in UK as we are in a lot of places all over the world, and things to do at home, presents to make, and just keep occupied. This is a kit that I've got online as well, so if anybody wants to paint this at home, they can do, or if they want to order it finished, they can do that also. So this is one that I made for my first grandson Dylan, and now I'm going to make one for Jake, who's just gone 2 months, and so he's ready for a plate now rather than a bowl. But the set that I do is a plate, a bowl, and a cup and saucer. They tend to drink out the cup and then put their cake or whatever on the saucer. So without further ado, off we go. Today I've got no Liz, so it's just me, and this is the first time I've used the big computer, so we'll see how it goes. I can't be putting, unfortunately, the camera up and down, but you all know what I look like, and it's not so good today. I'm a bit tired. So, right, here are the sponges that I've got. So I've got the spelling of Jake. So in the kit, everybody would get the spelling of whatever child they're going to do it for in alphabet form. So before you use the sponges, you need to wet them. So here we have Jake. They come now like this if you want to buy an alphabet set rather than have it on loan. Not like this. We changed the format of how they were designed. So here we have a couple of rabbits. So we've got one, well actually this one's a hare, but I think it looks just as much like a rabbit and I rather like him. And then we've got this one here. So I'm going to do this stand-up one, and then the plates are slightly different. So that you can see what they look like. So all the sponges have been, I've put them in a bowl first over here, and I've just basically put them in, give them a good squeeze so all the water's gone. And if you're unsure if the water's gone, you can always get a paper towel or a towel and just give it another little squeeze so that all the damp comes out. But it's still not bone dry because it takes the paint better. So basically I'm going to put the rabbit in to the paint, dab, 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 dab. See if I move my plate so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to dab it in terracotta. I'm using colour to clay, which is my own product, which is very strong. So I like to use this because I'm only going to sponge everything once. But you can use any product. You can even use acrylics. I did do the babies when they were little, baby grows with these rabbits on with, what was it now? Chromacolour fabric paints. But you could use anybody's fabric paints. So there we have them just plain at the moment, just one colour. And then what I like to do is I like to put the tips of the tail, the ears, into another colour like that. And before you apply it to your plate, you need to just pop it onto the tile and get rid of some so that it's flat and you look at it and there's nothing sticking out. And you can blend it a bit if you think it's a bit hard, the lines. You can just tap, 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 and then it'll be kind of a bit mottled. Move this out of the way. And this plate, I've just damp sponged that earlier, but it's very, very dry, so I think I'll just do it again. So you use a moon sponge and just slightly, just to make sure there's no dust on it before you start, because it gets dusty in a pottery. There we go. And then pop the rabbit on. Now I'm going to pop the rabbit on sort of just wherever I feel like. You can do stripes if you know, dab, 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 dab. You could go 12 o'clock. 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, like that, and then all in between. But I quite like it, just pop it on, give it a little push, not too much, just rock him round a little bit, and I'm not distorting him at all, and then pick it up, and there it is. Now you don't have to load it every time, you can if you want. I don't normally. I'm just, the first couple of times I do, so that, because the more it sinks inside the rabbit, I think you should be able to see, the more it actually goes through into the rabbit, the better the application is onto the plate. So now I think I pushed that one a little bit hard, just so we'll not push this one as much. So just a little tiny dab and off he comes. Still just an odd little hole because maybe the sponge wasn't quite damp enough. Another one here. And then maybe one there. As you can see, you don't have to load every time, and it will go up and over a bend because it's sponge. So push his feet onto the plate and then rock him up and over onto the rim, and just hang on a little bit to let the, see now it's looking better, to let the actual plate absorb the colour. Have a darker rabbit. And that's the other thing about loading a couple of times, is you can have, it's a little bit different. You don't have to have the whole rabbit on. You could have a little bit of the rabbit, just a pair of ears peeping on the plate if you wanted, like that. And then put one here. Okay, so that one's a bit blobby. He's got bigger ears than the rest. Maybe one here. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm going to, I'm just having a look to see if I've got any white underglaze. I haven't. Hang on a sec. I'll just go and get some. None there. Get a new tub. Here we go. Now, one of the reasons why I use clay paint is because it's opaque. So give it a shake, and this will cover up the colour underneath. So just a wee amount of the paint, and then I'm going to get a stylus, pick up a little blob of paint, and give him a tail. So dib a tail on him. So I call this cottontail. I often do this as a christening plate. So this is looking as if it's the back of the rabbit. Then I don't have to bother doing eyes and things, and I think it's quite cute. And now if you want them to be really, really solid and you have any spaces, you can just take your sponge, thin the paint to an ink with a brush, put the brush in and just tap around the rabbit to fill him in if you've got bits where the paint hasn't quite taken because the sponge was just a little bit dry. There's just that, just getting it perfect to be not too much paint and not too little paint. These sponges haven't been used for a little while because I haven't been really doing very much. I've been doing some great big plant pot commissions, and sadly I've been doing a couple of urns as well. So there's the rabbits, and then you want a liner. So you want a decent liner, really fine. So I'm going to use this is what's this? This is a 20-0 Majestic, Royal Majestic. It's really good quality brush. I'm going to thin the black to an ink, and then I'm going to pull some little whiskers out. So you put your finger onto the plate and just pull fine whiskers out. Don't keep going back for more paint, and be careful that you haven't got, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, there's a drip of water. Okay, so I'm going to do all the whiskers on the rabbits, lots of little whiskers. Nice and thin the paint. You see how quick it is? It is a quick piece to do, but you can take your time, spend a lot more time doing it. You can make it more fussy than I've done it. You could have flowers, you could have the rabbits eating carrots, all sorts of things. You could, if you want to colour the plate first, I prefer not to. I prefer crockery to be white, and this pottery is very white. You could actually fleck it if you wanted. Maybe we might do that. So have they all got whiskers yet? I don't know where the timer is to see how long this has been going, but anyway, never mind. Hoping it's not too long. Hope you guys will do this for Easter, because lockdown, I feel, is going to probably go on till mid-March, so we can't have anybody in to paint, but you can click and collect. and do this at home. Now, if you don't want to do rabbits, because you think, oh, well, rabbits are just for Easter, they're not really. My grandchildren like the rabbits. There are lots of other things you could do. You could choose to do hearts if you want to make it a bit of a Valentine looking cup. So there's hearts there, or you could do different animals. With little girls would like a unicorn, or you might want to do a cat or a dog or a dinosaur. So we have 140 different shapes. So you could do flowers if you wanted to make it for a grown up, or you can make, do the roses and hearts and make it a Valentine's plate. So the kit is quite versatile. Right, so now I'm going to put some stars on. Now this star comes large. We have groups of stars on the rounds. We have one that's like this. Now this one is this. I've just cut it up. I've taken the moon off and I've divided all the small stars so that more than one person can use them. And now I'm going to do some coloured stars. So what colours should we have? I think I have reds and yellows and oranges. I'll just see, I'm not organised because Liz isn't here to help. Oh, we have blue and orange and light green, dark green, well green, right. So here we go. So give your paints a good shake and then pop your stars on. You hardly need any paint. It's extremely strong as the paint. I think it'd be quite nice to have different colours. So I'm just putting a tiny, don't know how much paint you would say that was, the end of a teaspoon of the colours that I'm going to use. So I've chosen to use a limey green, a red, and a nice turquoise colour and a blue. In the kit I put 6 colours, which is about what I will have used when I've completed this project. So I can get my stars, which I've already wet. Now this is the tiniest little star. Oh, so small, maybe a bit too small. So bounce it up and down until the red has absorbed into the sponge, and then just pop a star on. So just touch and let go, touch and let go. Right, we'll have a different coloured star. So here I've left 2 on the sponge, so we'll have 1 blue and 1 green. So just tap them clean so that and let it sink in. Make sure it has sunk in. Touch, let go, touch and let go, touch and let go. We'll have some red and orange ones. So in the orange, in the red, dab dab, let it absorb into the sponge. Just do it again, missed a spike. Check that it has gone into the sponge and it's not sticking out. If it's sticking out, you can always tap it with your finger. And then touch, let go. Now leave a space to put the name. So I'm going to put Jake there. So touch, let go, touch and let go, touch and let go. Actually, I think I might put a few extra big blue ones. So there's the blue sponge. Here, there's the one that had blue in it. Just pop the blue on there. And there. Right, now for Jake. So I've already wet these letters. Give it a bit dry. It's quite hot in here. So Jake. So there's my J. Give it a squeeze. Make sure that you're using the right side. With these sponges, they're laser cut, and you can tell because one side you can sort of, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see it. It's kind of a bit flecky, dimply, whereas the other side has got a skin on it and it's really smooth. Oh, I've just found where the time is, 1:15 minutes. So fill the sponge with colour. If you wanted, you could have it toned, so you could put a bit of dark on the bottom. Okay, and we'll have a J for Jake. So pop it on to the piece. Actually, let's just pop them on so we get the placement right. The reason why we stopped doing them like this was because you can't quite see if you've got it straight, so it was a lot better like this. They actually do come in a heart, and you pull it down below the heart. Let me see if I can get a new packet. But for room, because of the room they take up, I've taken them all out of the hearts. Yeah, got a set here. This is a set of new ones. So this is what they come like. So they come in a heart, and then you push it up a little bit and pull it out a bit. Well, I'm not going to pull this too much, but it comes right out, and then you take the centre, like this is a number 6. You'd pull this out and discard it, so you can just have this. You can leave it like that, and then you can use that if you wish, but as I've said, I discard it because it takes a lot less room up. I like them like this. So I've got the E like that, so I think it needs to come over a little bit. Jake, looks a bit more. Okay, so I'm going to put the J. So I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to leave it there for a second or two. Then I'm going to do the A, so make sure that you're using the skin side. There's not too much water in it, and I'm going to do this orange from going to red. It's a tiny bit more paint. I would say the project takes about, well, less than 10 mil of each colour, less, because that's what comes in the kit, and they come back sometimes nearly full. Okay, so there's my A. Let's leave that there. Now I'll have the K. What colour can we have the K? I think we'll have 2 shades of green. So I'll have this light green and this dark green. So we'll start with the dark green, I think, at the top. Oh, naughty girl, I didn't do the skin side up. Here we go. So the dark green at the top. Yay, got it. And then the light green at the bottom. And then make sure that it's soaked into the sponge. And like I say, if it hasn't, just give it a little stroke and get rid of it. And then pop the next letter down. Leave it there. And then the E. What colour can I have the E? I've used every colour. I have to repeat a colour, but I could do a different combination. So we have one that's red. I'm going to do this with my finger. Red at the top. And then I'll do lime green at the bottom. Or will I? No, maybe I'll do dark blue actually. I'll do dark blue. I think the lime green might disappear a bit. It might look a bit odd with a strong colour. Okay, that's 2 colours again. And as I say, this is why I don't really like it when we did them on these, because I can't see what I've done. Oh, I've just got it on there, I think. Okay, so then that's done. You then pull these off. So that's 1 off, 2 2, 3 and 4. Now there's a tiny bit that's missing on my Jake at the top, so I will just paint that in and just put a little bit extra there. That's it. And then those two are okay. I think I might just make the K. No, the K is fine. I'll make the A just a tiny bit straighter there. And make the bar a little bit more solid. Jake. There we go. Then you can look at placement and think, oh, do you think that's right? Does that look right? Well, to me, no, it doesn't. There's a big space there and there's a big space there, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, 8 rabbits. Can't have 8 rabbits. I like odd numbers. So I'm going to put another rabbit here. Just leave it a second or two to absorb the paint, and then put a tail on him. If you've missed any, because I'm rushing, I've not done it as well as I would normally. It's just a bit freckly. That's it. Okay, and then put some whiskers on. Then put a tail on into the white with the stylus. There's a little tail, and then I think we'll have a few more stars. Where can we have them? Right there. So, and I think a blue one would look nice there. And like a little green one there. Oh, I've got a little bit of the blue one on. 2 green ones there. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe just one more up here. So just crease that back because I just want one orange one there. Does that look right? I think so. Maybe a little red one there. Okay, so that's him done. And to finish it off, you can leave it exactly as it is, or you could, because I'm showing you how to do things, I'll show you how to band. So I'm using a banding sponge. I have made it slightly damp. I'm just going to make it slightly damper. So I use the whole of the banding sponge and then lift it up. So as if you're going to, as if you were cutting a pastry. Lean it in a bit and then just go around and go around for as long as you can. So that you're not, and when you start again where you finished off, make sure that you finish or start again where you actually stopped. There you go. So if you look at that, that actually makes your eyes focus into the actual pot. Did I put whiskers on them all? He's got no whiskers there, look. So just check that you've done whiskers on them all. That's it. And then this is ready to fire and give to for Dylan. Dylan and Jake will then have their own plates. So I'd love you to subscribe. I'd love you to want the kit and comment at the bottom. Tell me what you'd like to see next. And now that I've got to grips with the big video, I will do some more videos because I'm going to be doing not a lot with people for the next 3 months, it would appear. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.